Hey, everybody. It's Friday night.
Friday night, we're going out.
Woo! Yeah. I'm so excited. We didn't go out last week because we didn't have all the stuff for the car. We didn't have insurance, and we didn't have a tag, and we didn't have anything. But now we do.
Yeah, now you got your horn-rimmed glasses on.
I did.
Jen got some new glasses. They're the round ones.
Yeah, where are they?
They're not as big, though.
They're over there.
Yeah, try those on.
I got those from Amazon.
Yeah.
Like the real big ones. And these actually have more, what do you call it? Magnification.
More magnification, yeah.
So because I'm getting blinder, as I get older.
Those work,
so I'm
too.
just like...
Yeah, I think those are... Yeah, that's more flattering.
All right.
I think, than the horn rim.
I mean, I'm not wearing them out because I don't need to see anything when I'm there.
That looks cute.
She's
got another set that's fucking huge. Those are cute, too.
We got those from Alibaba, right?
Yeah.
These ones I just got from Amazon.
Oh, okay. So that's why they didn't have them. Yeah. I want you to do the Alibaba one again.
I wasn't sure if they were the same because they looked the same.
A little bit smaller.
But they're a little bit smaller. Ira said, both look nice on you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, these are the ones that are even bigger.
Yeah, see, these ones are... These ones I got from... These ones are the ones I got from Alibaba.
Yeah, I think these are super cute.
Yeah.
I like those even better.
Yeah.
They're both good. They're both good.
Bigger.
They just have their own...
I can actually see better with those ones on, though.
Yeah, can you?
Yeah.
Well, just get the magnifications of those next time in that one.
Because I got I got the higher magnification. What?
Use that other one.
Use the other one so I can see better?
So you can see better, yeah. I was just talking about what looked...
Oh, shit. What did I do? Okay.
These are cute. So we're going out tonight.
Woo, there we go.
Jen's fucking looking hot. She's got a little fucking short mini skirt with her ass hanging out the bottom of these big old fucking thigh-high leather boots. She looks really good. Jen, jump up, Jen. I'll show you.
Do I have to?
Yeah. You got to look at these fucking...
Why do I have to?
Look at these boots.
What? You can't do too much ass. Come on.
Oh, what's happened? What happened? Too much ass? Can't see.
Well, I know.
There you go.
Why? Why do you do it?
Look how
Why do you
cute
do
that
it? Why do you do it?
Why does he do it? Thirst trapping.
He's thirst trapping. You're thirst trapping. I'm not.
Thirst trapping the people.
Thirst trapping the people.
Yeah. I'll thirst trap too, man, if I want to.
Yeah, you still never did that, did you?
Did the what?
You never did any thirst trap videos.
No, I haven't done it yet.
No.
Look at this shit. Okay.
It's okay. Just don't.
It'll do it. Right.
It'll do it by itself.
Right.
Ira says, "Wee." Going around with fucking. You're giving everybody motion sickness. Oh my god.
So.
Xana said his obsession with girls' clothes. LOL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like girls' clothes.
You guys.
I should have been a damn transsexual.
You don't even understand.
Yeah.
I have in the room next door.
Yeah.
Which is just a spare room. I have 2 clothing racks full of clothes that he bought me.
Yeah.
Like, some of them I picked out, too, but most of the stuff he's just like,
yeah.
I'm going to get you that. I'm going to get you that.
And half of it she hasn't worn yet.
Well, I haven't had time.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much of it.
And it's all hot, like, goth stuff. And it's like, it's either club wear or daytime wear. But it's all goth friendly. Even, some of it is even, like, she could wear to office.
Yeah.
But it's, like, goth friendly. It looks good.
And I mean,
a shit ton of boots and shoes.
You are good at that, like picking out.
I got a shoe fetish and shit.
It's very rare that you buy something that doesn't look good. Yeah. Like every now and then, if you get something that's like fits weird or it doesn't look the same.
Well, I'm a great admirer of female beauty. You know what I mean?
So, yeah.
And I know about clothing and dress, especially goth stuff. And I pick out fucking fantastic clothes for girls. Yeah, and women. I know what looks good. Well, I know what's going to look good on them. And a lot of it has to do with body style, body shape, what they can wear, what they can't wear. There are certain things that a woman can only get away with it if she weighs a fucking 100 pounds. Then you can wear that, you know.
Yeah.
And then there are other stuff that you could only get away with if you weigh 150 pounds. Because there's some things that look good with some juicy, big
with
bone.
Like curvy women that don't look good on thinner women.
Some of that shit. Some of the shit that looks good on them, it's not going to look good on a little skinny girl.
Although I had always kind of thought that, like, kind of those really tall, thin women, I was always like, man, they're so lucky because everything looks good on them. Or everything looks decent on them. Some things don't look fantastic, but everything looks decent on them.
They can get away with more.
Yeah, like for real. Like my body type, which is kind of short and curvy, because I'm only 5'2", 5'3", and it's just kind of like, so I really have to watch it. You know what I mean? Not as much anymore, like, because when I was heavier, it was harder to find something. But I kind of look better in a particular stuff that's like real fitted and stuff that like flares out. It's either flared skirt or flared pants. Yeah, like bell bottoms.
She looks great in bell bottoms. She looks good in micro minis that flare out if they're pleated. Look good in corsets and anything has a low bust line. Anything that can do a hourglass shape, she looks real good in that. And because of her training and everything, shit's going down now. She's actually her body outline is probably the best it's ever been, because she's in physical training, and she's just getting a great ass. You guys haven't seen it yet. We're gonna make a video. Put that shit up. All right, she's got a great ass. Yeah, she's building up shape, muscle. Her core is trimming up a lot. Like I said, we're old and we do shit and we fucking work out, and sometimes I look in the mirror and go, man, I'm looking good too. I'm fucking 55. My fucking six pack's starting to come in. It's looking good. Chest. Just lift a lot of weights. Do a lot of fucking test,
Take a lot of hormones.
Take a lot of hormones. Eat a lot of protein. Sleep a lot. Sleeping, I think, has a lot to do with it.
I probably need to sleep more.
More I sleep, the bigger I get.
I feel like I don't get enough sleep.
Yeah.
But
muscle isn't built in the gym. Shape isn't built in the gym. It's built during recovery. And you're recovering when you're sleeping. Yeah. Even if you're on gear.
Because I woke up this morning because Bambi came to the foot of the bed and went, "Row!" Yeah. And I was like, "What?" "Row!" And I was just like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "It's too early for your breakfast." And then I looked over and there were no treats on the treat plate, so she was yelling about that.
Murder Hornet asked who runs Bar to Town. Fucking Master Blaster runs Bar to Town.
Yeah. That's Tom's nickname.
That's my Mexican cartel name. Nickname is Master Blaster. From Mad Max. I'm the fucking jacked fucking giant and the midget combined. I'm a jacked midget. Yeah. Master Blaster. Yeah.
I wouldn't call you a midget necessarily.
Shorty, but fucking Master Blaster.
Well, you're taller than me, so.
Master Blaster runs Part of Town. Fucking Mad Max.
Most people are taller than me.
Yeah. Mad Max 3.
I'm a little person.
Mad Max 3 was the weakest of the Mad Max movies, but it had like one of the bigger budgets. It was a Hollywood production. It just didn't have that damn same Australian feel to it.
I didn't hate it as much when I rewatched it recently. I didn't hate it the first time, but I didn't like it as much. But I liked it better.
The only thing I didn't like about it is it had little kids in it that were real fucking chanting all the fucking time.
Yeah, don't put fucking kids in it.
That's really... And everybody was chanting, 2 men enter, 1 man... Too much chanting. And it was like something to do with that director. It just made it seem unrealistic with all that. But the movie I thought was great. It didn't have as many deaths in it. I don't even think it was R-rated. I think it was PG. The other ones were R-rated. Yeah. I think wasn't Fury Road R-rated? No, it might have been PG too, huh?
Ooh, now I can't remember.
It was a good PG though, if it was.
Yeah, I mean, just because something is PG or PG-13, that doesn't mean it's automatically going to suck. It's just that it depends on what kind of movie it is. I mean, if Fury Road was PG or PG-13, then holy shit, that was one of the best movies ever. But
Yeah. I mean, the Furiosa movie, I think, is going to be good.
I'm looking forward to that.
I think it'll be good. Yeah, it doesn't have to be about Mad Max. I like that world.
Yeah, like I said, even the other movies, like he wasn't really the main character.
No, he's exactly.
He was just like kind of a.
I get into it with some of these fucking fanboys online. This has been years back now. Road Warrior, that was Mad Max 2. That was really like the best one. Really, it's a masterpiece. Max is not really the hero in that. And somebody's like, what do you mean he's there? He goes, no, not really. If you actually analyze that story, the gyro captain was the hero. He saved Max twice. Yeah. Rescued the girl. Yeah. Fucking he turned out to be one of the bravest, most honorable character in the movie. He wasn't the main character, but he was the hero.
Yeah.
Max was more the anti-hero, kind of a reluctant anti-hero.
Yeah. And that's also like a character trope, but like I said, he's not like the main.
Yeah, Max wanted to run. He didn't want anything to do with it. He was forced into making that deal because his fucking car got fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like a continuing thing with him. He's always like, man, I'm getting involved in this. I don't really want to do it. Like I said, that was kind of the reluctant hero. But, you know, like you said, the other characters are like more just openly heroic.
Yeah. Well, Gyro Captain, you know, they let you know what his... When you first see him, he pops out of the ground with a fucking crossbow and tries to capture Max. He left his fucking gyrocopter out there as bait. Had a damn fucking rattlesnake tied to it. I think it was a rattlesnake. Some kind of venomous snake. I don't know if Australia has rattlesnakes. Do they?
They have every other dangerous
everything
animal.
Else is poisonous.
So I wouldn't surprise me.
And he jumps up. You think he's kind of like a bad guy, but fucking Max turns the table and he kind of enslaves him. He's fucking got him in chains. He's making him carry shit for him. And you see on the back of his fucking tail of his gyrocopter, he's got some cutout pictures of girls and shit pasted to there, you know, like lingerie. And he goes, remember lingerie? He's saying it. And he had a damn fake flower on his fucking jacket, trying to look fucking dapper. He actually would eat with a spoon instead of just eat out of the can, eat the dog food out of the can. He tried to eat with a spoon. He's trying to be civilized.
Right.
And he finally sees a pretty girl, and becomes motivated by it. You know, I think he was a good character because they were trying to let you know that there were some guys that yearned for civility, and just to be normal, and the Gyro Captain was like that. He just was trying to be normal,
which is what would happen. Not everybody would just go completely feral.
Yeah.
Like some people would, obviously, but a lot of people would be like, "Yeah, this is not really for me."
He becomes partners with Max. Max kind of reluctantly. He didn't like to have any friends and shit, and he fucking goes saves Max. After he wipes out his car and everything, just unprompted, he's gonna be all right, partner. He says, we're partners now. He really fucking... It's funny because the way Max had treated him, he didn't... Fucking Max really didn't deserve to be his partner. Max treated him like shit.
Yeah.
So it's just
well, like I said, that's kind of the point of the character. He's always like this... Like, he's a good dude, but he's like really reluctant. He doesn't want to get involved.
Doesn't want to have any loss.
Right. Yeah. And that's why. And you understand that about him, so he's still sympathetic. It's like the reason that he's being so stoic and he doesn't want to get involved with anybody is he's afraid he's gonna lose them. So it's fear that's making him act like that. So that makes him more sympathetic. See,
but the Gyro Cap wasn't afraid of fear. He wasn't afraid of loss.
Yeah,
he was ready for that. He was just kind of a good guy. So when I go back and watch fucking Road Warrior, to me, the Gyro Captain's a hero of the story.
Yeah, I can see that.
And he ends up saving the tribe, remember?
Yeah.
He's the one driving the truck, leading the convoy out.
Yeah.
And the feral kid becomes the tribe, he's the guy telling you this story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good movie, great movie.
It is, yeah. Dave is here, so we'll be seeing you later.
See you tonight, bro.
At Mannequins, hopefully. Yep. Yeah, he said he's trapped because of the thirst trap. Yeah. Also said 13 o'clock presents Jen's ass.
Yeah, oh man.
I mean, pretty much.
You guys should have seen it.
I was like, look, I got up to go put more ice in my drink before the show started.
Yeah.
And he just kept going, man, look at your ass when you're like walking. And I'm just like, geez, I'm just going to get ice, dude. Calm down. Calm down. Danny says, Nicole Coco Austin's body type is the best body type. Yeah, Ice-T's wife. I know I've seen her, but I can't like remember what she looks like offhand. Ira says muscle memory is probably kicking in for Tom, probably from military years. Yeah, he's like said that too. And honestly, I kind of think I sort of had the same thing happen because when I was much younger, like in my preteen and teenage years, I did a lot of dance. I did ballet, I did tap, I did gymnastics. And then when I was in my 20s, I played soccer. So, you know, and then I just kind of didn't do it like anymore, like into my 20s and 30s. But then when I started working out, like immediately, like the bottom, like my calves and stuff got like super like defined. You know what I mean? So it was almost like it was remembering like all the shit that I did like decades ago. I would actually kind of like to, if they had a good dance class around here, I wouldn't mind taking it, actually.
Yeah, I was talking about that.
I wanted to do, I don't know about yoga or, I don't know, just like a kind of, or I always kind of wanted to do belly dancing, but what are you doing?
I'm trying to get some of that cleavage in this bitch.
Oh. Well, you going to cut my head off just
yeah,
to get the cleavage in?
Okay, hold on.
My tits don't talk, you know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You're ridiculous.
I'm fucking ridiculous. What kind of comments did I miss? I heard some people saying.
I was reading old ones. We got like way behind.
All right.
I got way behind. Danny was saying that Nicole Coco Austin's body type is the best body type.
I don't know who
which
that
is. It's Ice-T's wife.
Oh yeah, Coco's fucking hot. Yeah, I remember her.
I vaguely remember her. I don't really.
Just white chick, curvy, big fake titties. Booty. Yeah. Fake booty, probably.
Somebody says, "What are you drinking?" Rum and Coke.
Rum and Coke. Bacardi and Coke. And actually, it's not.
Actually,
Coke.
it's Pepsi.
Bacardi and Pepsi.
Because that's what was on sale.
Yeah.
Because we're cheap bitches like that. We were like
you get 3 2-liters.
We were actually drinking rum and RC cola,
yeah.
which is one of the most rednecky things that I could possibly think of. And it's okay, but it's not quite the same. Although I'm not a big cola person. I don't drink a lot of soda. So they all kind of taste the same to me, but you know what I mean. Let me see. Hold on. Talking about another Ghostbusters movie.
They're talking about muscle memory kicking in. I don't know if it's muscle memory. It's fucking training too.
Well, yeah, but it's just saying that because you had all that back then, like when you started working out now. Because I said I think the same.
When I was in the military, I didn't have much mass.
Yeah, that's true. I said, but I was saying that the same thing might have happened to me because when I was younger, I used to do ballet and gymnastics when I was a kid, like when I was a teenager. Like preteen, early teens. Yeah,
Grandpa knows about the Ciarra captain. He becomes the leader of the tribe. Yeah, and then the feral kid becomes the leader too. He's telling you the story. And Xanada's talking about Mad Max 3 is the one that has Tina Turner. Mm-hmm. I've heard some people saying, "Oh man, they were critical of Tina Turner's role and shit." That she was too like civilized. No, I thought Auntie was a good character.
I thought she was the best part of that movie.
She was living luxury in a damn high-rise apartment for the post-apocalyptic world. She even had a fucking saxophone player. I thought that was a fucking cool idea. She had the best that you could get in those days or in her world. She was, so did Morton Joe. And Morton Joe had the best you could get. So. And I thought she was great. I thought she was a great character.
like I said, she was my favorite thing about that movie, to be honest with you. I probably need to watch it. One of these days, we should just watch all of them, like, in a row. You know what I mean? Like, one weekend.
I'm a big fan of Mad Max 1, the first one. And a lot of people, they don't like that one too much because it's not really post-apocalyptic. It's happening during, like, in a time where Max's world is falling apart. The crime is out of control and civilization is starting to crumble and nobody believes in anything anymore. It's the end of the civilizational cycle. And Max is a cop and he wants to quit. But his boss was named Feeky, his leader. And he was just a leather daddy, bald leather daddy.
That's a poodle's name.
His name was Feeky. And to keep Max on the force, Feeky bribes him by giving him the fucking V8 Interceptor. This badass fucking car that they souped up, had a damn supercharger on it and everything. And they used that to get him to stay on the force. So he stays. And Feeky said it's because people needed heroes and they needed something to look up to because civilization is falling apart. I thought that was a fucking cool character, really. And then he's fighting a gang, Toe Cutter and his little gang. And I like the fact that the bad guys in the bad guy game were not uniformly bad, really. Some of them were just fuck-ups. Some of them were fuck-ups and bad. And then some of them would have been pretty good, like Bubba. Bubba was the guy with the short blonde hair. He actually should have been the leader of the gang because Toe Cutter was too fucking crazy. And Toe Cutter was asking him to do stuff. He's like, fuck that. I don't want to go back for him. I'm not going back for fucking Billy the Boy. And he goes, no, you're not doing it for me. You're not doing it for me. You're not doing it for him, Bubba. You're doing it for me. And there's a weird kind of homosexual undertone. So, like, who was Billy the Boy to Toe Cutter? Why did Toe Cutter care about him so much? You know what I mean? It's weird, you know? And they didn't come right out and say it. And then there was, like, a scene where two of the bad guy bikers, it looks like they tried to damn sexually assault that one dude, and then they ended up throwing him through a window. That was when they were taking over the town. They're just wild. And I think that was the idea of the story is that civilization was falling apart, so there were no holds barred. Anybody could do anything. You know? And it's kind of becoming like maximum security prison. And later on, you know, fucking in Road Warrior 2, you start introduced to Wes. And Wes was that crazy motherfucker with a mohawk. He had a boy on a chain. That was his boyfriend. And if you look closely in one fucking shot, when he's on the back of the bike, he's got a fucking girl's name tattooed on his arm. So,
that might have been his mom's name.
Nah, it was his girlfriend. He had a heart and shit. So he wasn't evidently too willing to be in this relationship. It just, he had to do what he had to do to stay alive, I guess.
Well, you know. Let's see. We got way behind again. Let me see. Getting way behind. Okay, where was I? Now I lost my place. Murder Hornet said, I like a thick ass. Yeah, I think a lot of...
Thank you, Murder Hornet. Thank you.
A lot of dudes do, I guess. Yeah. But, you know.
Yeah.
Xander said, I'm going to come in and defend RC Cola. It's just as good as the other colas. It's the poor man's cola. Yeah, they, like I said, they all pretty much taste the same to me.
RC's a little kind of sweet and tinny. If you drink a lot of it, you realize it doesn't really kind of have the.
But I don't really taste a lot of difference between all of the colas.
It tastes a little cheaper.
Because I'm not a big soda person.
I am.
So they all, you drink a lot of soda.
Yeah, I drink a lot of it.
I don't.
Not a lot of it, but I appreciate it. Now, if you put RC Cola against even Publix generic brand cola, Publix will blow it out of water, but Publix is good no matter what.
Yeah, all their store brand shit is good.
Yeah, their cherry cola is like the best.
Yeah, I really like their cherry cola actually. Yeah. I like it better than honestly, I think I like their strawberry soda the best. Honestly, their strawberry soda and their fruit punch. Yeah, and the orange is good too.
It's actually the fruit punch is like tiki punch. It has like a
that's real good.
It makes a good mixer. It's great with vodka.
Yeah,
probably be really good with rum too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Victor says, "Hey, I made it. Gotta leave soon though." All right, so hey Victor, what's going on? Hey, we got a super chat from Jeffy Art. Have you ever read The Keep by F. Paul Wilson? I have. Actually, I think I might have reviewed it not too long ago.
That's the one with the movie, right?
Yeah.
With the Jewish golem thing?
It was a vampire.
It was a vampire? Is that what it was?
It's a vampire, actually.
I thought it was a golem.
No.
All right.
Or his Repairman Jack series. I read one of the books in the Repairman Jack series, and it was really good, but I haven't read any of the other ones. But he's just got into the series, he says. Yeah, I mean, I will probably read, because I really liked the one that I read, and I can't remember what the name of it was. Somebody loaned it to me, like, years ago. Yeah, Mystery Meat says, I had a dog named Feeky. She was a little poodle. Like I said, that's a poodle's name.
Yeah. That's what they called that big old leather daddy that was the police.
That's pretty funny, though.
Police captain. Yeah. Fifi.
John Smith said, if your name is Fifi, you know that's a guy you don't mess with.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it's just kind of like... Well, you know, it's just kind of like that whole ironic thing, like this big giant dude that's named Tiny or whatever. Yeah, it's that kind of thing.
He's a big old leather daddy with a scarf and shit and his little hat and fucking, you know, watering his plants and shit and fucking trying to get people to stay on the forest. Yeah. Because they were saying fuck it and they were leaving the forest. Fucking civilization was falling apart. I like Mad Max 1. Yeah. And it had good wrecks and good fucking motorcycle stunts. Dude's got hurt making that one. They got hurt making fucking Mad Max 2 also. But I think they mostly got hurt making Mad Max 2. I think, but it's a good movie.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you do actual stunts. RC, the Cola of the South. It is, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wes was in Commando. He was in Weird Science, too, like playing essentially the same character.
He played Wes in Weird Science, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they were riffing off of that.
They're riffing off of it, yeah.
Holy shit,
we should... a girl in that one instead of a boy.
Yeah, we should review.
He's more intimidating when he's got a boy on a leash.
I know, but it's just kind of like... Because it was... I guess because the whole thing was like the two teenage boys that... Yeah. Holy shit, we should totally review that movie. I don't think we did. I think we did Breakfast Club and... Because we did some John Hughes movies, right? I think I know we did Breakfast Club for sure. Yeah. Because I remember somebody sent us that. Like the Steelbook. Yeah. But I always really liked Weird Science.
Yeah. I haven't seen that in a long time.
It's super funny.
Wes was a fucking brilliant character, though, man.
I might not think it was funny nowadays, but
the message there is
funny
that
back then.
If you're weaker than me, then you're my bitch.
Yeah, well.
You know what I mean? Fucking, even if you don't want to be my bitch, you got to be my bitch. It's like some out of fucking maximum security prison, you know?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Victor says Dr. Pepper and Big Red are my go-tos.
Big Red's good.
Yeah.
I like Big Red.
I love Dr. Pepper. Yeah, I like Dr. Pepper and Mr. Pibb. Like, if I'm going to drink soda, it's either going to be Pepper or Pibb, because they kind of taste the same to me. Because
Mr. Pibb,
they're kind of like medicine-y tasting, and I'm into that.
Mr. Pibb is the southern Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. I'll either get that or I'll get ginger ale.
Yeah.
I like ginger ale. Or root beer. I like root beer also.
Dr. Pepper is actually prune flavored.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
I think that's an urban legend.
I heard it might be prune, though. You taste it and you go like, yeah, it's slightly fruity.
I think that might be an urban legend.
You guys can Google
I'm going to have to look it up.
I think it might be prune. It's supposed to be energy drinks, and that shit was all spiked with drugs back in the day. And prune juice might have been something that they would have put in there.
It's like, hey, it keeps you regular. It keeps you regular. Yeah.
It's supposed to be medicine.
And also peps you up.
Yeah. Now, for some reason, foreigners can't handle American root beer. They don't know sassafras. I tried to give some root beer to some British guys that fucking South Camp when we were in Egypt. And they were like, "Oh, it's terrible. It's like medicine. It's what medicine tastes
yeah,
like."
I get that, but
I'm looking at them
I like
no,
that. No,
man, it's sassafras. It's a root. You make tea out of it, and then you can make a beer out of it. I had rare root beer a couple days ago when we went to this fucking pizza place. They had this shit on tap. It was like beer, but it was root beer. It was good. It was.
Yeah, we went to Mellow Mushroom.
Yeah, it was real good.
And he was like, "Can I get root beer?" And they're like, "Oh, we have it on tap. Is that okay?" And I was just like, "Wow,
yeah,
I never heard of that." And they have a full bar in there.
It was great. Yeah, it was great. It was like, okay.
It was really nice.
Yeah. It's not like... It tastes vaguely like what you get out of a can or a bottle, but it's heavier and less carbonated. More like a stout beer, but sweet. Weird. I liked it. But yeah, British guys couldn't handle that. And then like... Somebody gave me, later on I was over there, somebody gave me this fucking Italian drink that was in a can. It was fucking horrible. It was like their version of Coca-Cola. But it was bitter.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like a blue and white can.
I was just reading an article about that the other day.
It was bitter as fuck. And it was bitter, and there was no redeeming features in it at all. Terrible. The can looked cool. I was like, okay, this might be good. And I took a drink of that shit. I was like, what the fuck? It's like, no, it's
is
terrible,
this a joke
man.
or something?
It's fucking bitter as
what
shit.
What is this?
So I tried to drink it again, see if I get used to it, to acquire the taste. I couldn't drink half that can. I was like, no, that's just fucking terrible. But Italians like it. But it wasn't root beer. It wasn't cola. It wasn't a ginger ale. It just tasted like bitter paper or something.
Yeah, I think, okay, so I think what I was... And this might be the same thing you're talking about.
Hold on. Yeah.
I think the other day I was reading an article about if you guys are, everybody in, Central Florida area, if you go to Epcot, the Disney park, there is and I've been in there. My sister took me like last time I went in there. There's a Coca-Cola store and there's like taps like all along the wall, and you can try Coca-Cola from all different countries and like all weird flavors and stuff. And apparently there's one in there, and it might be the one that he's talking about, like from Italy or whatever, that is just like fucking horrible. And it's just kind of like, it's kind of become a joke to take some noob that doesn't know what's going on. And it's like, oh, well, you have to try this one. You know what I mean? And like you eat it, like, what the fuck is this? It's awful. So it's just kind of like, it's kind of become known as So it's kind of like one of the more, and I wish I could remember what it was called. I can't remember what it's called, but I didn't drink any of it. Was it? So my sister wouldn't do that to me, I don't think. But I don't think I even tried any. We went in there, and then what did we do? I was there with my sister and my sibling and my other two brothers, and we went in there, and they were like trying all the Cokes and stuff, and I was like, well, I don't really like Coke all that much, so I wasn't like into it. So I don't know. I think I had to go across to the bathroom or something like that. So it's like, I don't know if they made the other people like try the horrible shit. But everybody that goes to Disney all the time and like knows about that, there's a really, really horrible Coke variant, and you can drink it at Epcot, and it's like a dare. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's something that they'll do to like virgins. When you bring somebody in there, you're like, oh, you need to try this one, and it's awful. Like, I don't even remember what's in it, but it tastes like ass, and it's just like everybody knows that it tastes like ass. Every now and then you come across a person that likes it, but it's kind of like one of those things where, you know how most people don't like black licorice or anything like that, but it's like that, but like to the 100th, like 100 times worse than that. So, and people are drinking it being like, what the fuck? I can't drink this. It's awful. So yeah, it's that kind of situation. But I can't remember what it's called though. I was just like drinking, and him talking about it like reminded me. And I said, you must be thinking about that, because I think it was Italian actually. Because like I said, it's sodas from all over, like Coca-Cola branded sodas from all over the world, and some of them are really awful. Like I said, I'm not a big soda fan anyway. So, let me see. Burner Hornet said, here in the border, these Mexicans don't know how to make damn grits. At Denny's, they're all chunky as shit. Yeah. Oh my god, last time we went out, I guess like a couple weeks ago, we were coming home and Tom's like, you know what we should do? Like before we go home, we should, instead of going to like Circle K and getting sandwiches and Pringles like we usually do, he's like, let's go to Waffle House. Because there's a Waffle House. You have to pass our house, like, and go a few more miles. But how many miles is Waffle House from here?
5 miles.
Probably like 5 miles. So you have to pass our house and go like up 5 miles. But yeah, there's a Waffle House. So yeah, we got Waffle House last time, and I think I got grits last time. They're good, but they're kind of bland at Waffle House.
Waffle House got shitty grits. They've always had shitty grits. Although
like they're edible, but they're bland.
I told the waitress there. I said Waffle House has always had shitty grits.
Yeah.
Because you were saying something about it, and she goes, no, it depends on who's working.
Yeah, she did say that.
That's what she said.
Because I got the whole, like, I mean, I guess it's like the Waffle House equivalent of a Grand Slam. It came with, it had a waffle, grits, eggs, and sausage.
I got the
and
Waffle
toast.
I got the Waffle House fucking bowl.
Yeah.
Bowl. You got two.
We should go to Waffle House tonight after. We'll see how we feel on the way home.
Bowl.
Because I'm kind of hungry.
In the bottom of the bowl, it's either hash browns or grits. And then eggs, cheese, and fucking meat of your choice. So ham, bacon, or sausage. Thinking about it, I'm thinking about it now. And if I have the fucking bowl again, and fuck it. Fuck all the presentation. Just put it in a fucking bowl. Because you're going to mix it all together anyway.
Yeah, I mean.
If I get the bowl again, I'm going to get hash browns with eggs, sausage, and fucking gravy. Country gravy, white country gravy over it as a side, because I got country gravy.
Hey, Pokey.
You're not happy about that?
Well, no.
No comment.
No, I just saw Pookie. So okay. Don't get excited.
That'd be the way to do it.
Okay. I don't like all the gloppy gravy on everything.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
I know you like it.
Fucking
like right. I get it. It's good. I just
you
don't.
Drinking fucking gravy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like when we went there last time, I was just kind of like. It's funny because the last couple days, because we've been doing all the shit with the car, right? So yesterday and the day before, Tom had bought all the parts, and then we found a mechanic like pretty close.
Yeah.
And
I got a mechanic guy.
Yeah, he's dropped
expensive, but he's good.
Well, yeah, but it's like for shit that we can't do here, like shit that needs to go up on the lift and everything. Like, so we took it there and we had to leave it there most of the day.
Yeah.
And then when we picked it up, like it was still kind of early in the morning, and Tom's like, we should go to Waffle House. The Waffle House that's by our house is always fucking packed. Yeah. Except in the middle of the night. Like we went there because we're like, oh, it's a week. It was like a fucking Tuesday or some shit like that. And it's just kind of like, oh, it's like 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. And we went there and it was fucking mobbed. It was full.
Yep.
Like we couldn't even get in there. We had to go to fucking Wendy's.
Yep. See, here's the thing when it comes to these mechanics. I can rebuild the fucking engine in that car. It's the same as the Crown Victoria. I fucking worked on them for a long time. The problem is that I got jack stands. I don't have a good floor jack. And I really don't like working on my back. Working underneath those things, man. Fucking sucks. I'd rather just pay somebody if it's in the other carriage.
For most things, it's just kind of easier to
I don't have a problem working in the engine bay. You know, but I don't like getting underneath them. Jacking them up and getting underneath them. When I was younger, you know, fucking no problem. But now when you get older and fucking like, fuck it, I'll have some young guy fucking go in there and fucking
I'll pay
with the damn impact wrench.
Sure.
But car's going good.
Yeah, we got a bunch of shit fixed.
Got a bunch of shit done.
I mean, not fixed. There wasn't really anything wrong with it, but just replaced.
Tune-up stuff. Tune-up stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
The had the drive shaft rebuilt, put new U-joints on it. That was about $200. That included parts and everything. I got the parts and everything. He did that for I guess he did it $125 to rebuild it. Had the differential serviced. He charged me a lot for that though. I was like, just to pop the back of that off and fucking spray out the inside, fucking reseal it up with RTV with a fucking gasket and everything, and then refill the fucking differential. It was almost $300. I kind of regretted that. I probably shouldn't have had him do that because I could have done that myself.
Well, too late now.
Yeah. He's taking advantage of me. And then I replaced every spark plug. Replacing those spark plugs, that car immediately got a lot better to drive with new spark plugs. Some of those spark plugs look like shit that came out of there.
That car is like smooth as a baby's butt, like driving that stuff. It's just like,
it's only got 100,000 miles on it, and
and the power steering is just you just got to go like that, and it fucking. Actually, it's a little bit weird because the power steering is so good that you really can't do that because you'll go like veering into the other lane. You have to kind of. You can't like you can't like overcorrect because you'll go like way over there like that. You really have to kind of keep it.
You have to consciously just hold your hand still to track the road. And then there's only one engine code on it right now, and it says random backfire. Excuse me, random misfire.
Misfire, yeah. We went to.
I know what it was. It was one of the coils in there. They're all 7 of the coils are black. One of the coils is gray, and it was in the back, and it had the wrong bolt in it to hold down. So I knew that's what it was talking about. I got the bolts I got all new bolts to hold down the fucking coils, and I got a new coil and put it into place. We're gonna see, and once it ran a lot better now that I put that coil in there, and I said fuck it. And I got a whole set of 8 coils on order. They'll be here tomorrow. I'm gonna replace them all, and I'll have one extra. And the engine light should go away then. And the little hold down bolts that Ford gives you, they're kind of an odd fucking head size. There's an aftermarket shit you can get off of fucking Amazon. It's an 8mm with a fucking washer. And oh, by the way, that back one wasn't stripped. I put the fucking regular stock screw went into it. Held fine. It wasn't stripped. Okay. He just had that fucking screw stuck in there.
Okay.
To hold it still. And you know, you got all that spark and all that fucking engine vibration and everything. Of course you're going to have a fucking random fucking misfire. It's not aligning properly. It'll arc most of the time, but it's not a good idea to do that. The light may go away as it is. So what's on order now is I got to wait for the fabric. I'm going to fucking redo the headliner. Because it smells like cigarette smoke and it's falling in the back, so I'm gonna redo the headliner. Car smelling a little bit better. That guy that old lady was a terrible smoker. It was underneath the dash. It was just fucking caked with fucking yellow cigarette tar. I found a fucking vacuum hose that was loose. I plugged that in. Things seemed to work better. The air conditioner seemed to work better. It was a white, looked like a vacuum cleaner hose. Fucking like a little small diameter vacuum cleaner hose. I don't know why it was unplugged. I plugged it back in. It could only go in one place. So it went into the firewall.
I
don't know what that was.
I mean, we're gonna put it to the test. Well, I was gonna say we're gonna put it to the test tonight, but we actually drove to Sanford today.
Yeah.
We just drove because we wanted to take it on the freeway a little bit. Like, take it 70 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour, see if it was all right. So we drove up, like, way over to Sanford, like, to the Starbucks over there, and then came back.
For you foreigners, you know what I'm talking about. Mercury Grand Marquis, 1999, with only 100,000 miles. That's a rarity. That's very low miles. You can get 450,000 miles on those cars. They were used as cop cars and taxis. And military staff cars were used for them. They were just fucking rock solid. Parts are plentiful. Parts are relatively cheap, and you can work on it. It's got a big engine bay. You don't need... It's not tight and cramped, you know. And there's a lot of aftermarket support for it. I'm just modernizing the car, going over to LED lights, LED headlights. I want LED internal and interior lights. There's a lot of shit that can be freshened up. I might replace the carpet. Even though the carpet's good, it stinks. So smoking. And I'm an ex-smoker, so I'm not. Although I've heard that ex-smokers are even harder on it because we can detect it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I only smell it when I first get in the car or when you first turn the AC on.
Yeah.
Like, after that, I don't smell it anymore.
There must be an environmental filter that recycled the air, and I bet you it's filled with fucking nicotine and tar.
Probably.
I gotta find out where that thing is.
Well, like I said, even the dome light had.
Probably underneath the top of the dash where the dash meets the windshield. Probably down in there, there's some kind of air filter that you gotta remove and change. Usually that's where they are.
Xander's talking about Jägermeister and Goldschlager.
Goldschlager's good. Jägermeister's fucking it tastes. I was telling my ex a long time ago. I had a German girlfriend. I mentioned Jägermeister, and she just fucking laughed. And she said that only bums drink that. She said,
in Germany.
Yeah, in Germany, only bums drink that. And she says, like a really, she goes, "What's the worst thing you can drink in the United States?" And I was like Mad Dog 2020 or Thunderbird. She goes, "It's like that. It's something that you can buy for cheap."
It's like shit. It's like $1 or something.
Yeah. I was fucking laughing.
Yeah, and Xander said, if you can't drink Jägermeister, then you're not a man. Goldschlager and Jägermeister are men's drinks. Honestly,
Goldschlager's good though.
He likes it. I can't, like, anything that has that real strong, like, cinnamon flavor or real strong ginger flavor or something like that will give me, like, instant heartburn.
Yeah.
Like, instantly. So I don't drink a lot of stuff like that.
The thing is, though, is like Goldschlager is kind of like the elevated fucking semi-gay or bisexual version of fucking Fireball. If you like Goldschlager, just fucking get the American version. Fireball. It's even hotter.
Yeah.
It's
I can't drink Fireball either.
Man. I love Fireball.
And it's weird because I like cheap. Actual cinnamon.
Yeah.
On things. But and I like cinnamon flavored things, but for whatever reason, like any kind of booze that's cinnamon flavored, if it's real hot like that, it just gives me instant heartburn. And I was like, and I don't need that, like, along with being drunk and hungover.
Case and Lee said you're way behind.
Yeah, I know. Well, you kept talking. I couldn't.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Case and Lee said, curious, you guys believe in karma or the afterlife? That's what I was trying to get to everything. I got to go to the bathroom.
Go ahead.
Go get a drink.
You can go ahead and go through our. Damn, I'm grabbing a booty. You can go back into our back catalog, and I did a show called Out of Body Experiences. I had a near-death experience where I was in a motorcycle wreck and ended up being in a coma for about a week. And going through that, I'll tell all about that story. And then I also had what's called an OBE, which is an out-of-body experience. That was a little bit before, only a couple weeks before. I had the NDE. It was like a spontaneous astral projection. I tell that whole story in there. So do I believe in an afterlife? Fucking yes, I do. Yeah, of course. It's not like, it's kind of like it's described in religions and certain philosophies. But no, I believe that based on what I saw, the body's destroyed, but somehow your point of view survives it. Now, Stuart Hameroff and this real famous physicist, I forgot what his name was. He's got a fucking Nobel Prize and everything. What was that guy's name? Jenny would remember his name. They talk about something called the quantum soul theory, where it has to do with quantum particles in superposition in a cloud. The synapses in your brains are firing, and that stuff is all quantum, based in quantum. What do they call it? It's quantum mechanics, quantum physics. And once those quantum particles become entangled with one another, you could actually get rid of the physical brain, and those particles would still be entangled there. And that might be what people are calling a soul. That you would still be able to have a sense of point of view or a sense of being, even though the body's not there anymore. When I heard that theory, I was like, yeah, that's it. That's what an out-of-body experience felt like, and what a near-death experience felt like. The closest fun Hollywood movie that was similar to what I saw in an NDE and an OBE would have been a movie called The Frighteners that had Michael J. Fox in it, and it had what was his name? Jeffrey Combs was in it, and it's a great movie. Based on what I saw, it's kind of like that. That's actually what it is. But there wasn't any kind of like, when you left, you kind of saw your body. There was like a life review where you kind of reviewed over your life. You met all these people that you knew from before, and then they said, you can't go, you got to go back. You go to the restroom. What was Stuart Hammer, the guy that worked with Stuart Hammer off that physicist?
Roger Penrose.
Roger Penrose, yeah.
Sir Roger Penrose.
Sir Roger Penrose. Look at this quantum soul theory.
You had stuff to do still, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I believe in that stuff or not. I believe he saw what he saw. But, I don't know. I'm kind of ambivalent about it still. Yes, it said Goldschlager was around way before Fireball. Yeah, I mean, any of that stuff. I remember back in the day when we used to go to iBar downtown, and he would always get, like, people would buy us Fireball shots and stuff like that, and they're kind of good, but I can't really drink anything like that without getting heartburn. Same kind of thing happened with where Barbarella is now. They just have the pre-mixed cocktails, like, in the cans, because he has a liquor license, but there's some kind of legality where he can't use it where he's at. So they just have the pre-mixed cocktails. And they have one that's like, what the fuck is it? It's like, it's ginger beer with something. Rum? I don't remember what's in there. And it's real good, but man, like, we got them because Tom got two. I was like, okay, that sounds kind of good. So we just got two of them, and I drank one, and I was just like, yeah, I can't drink any more of these. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be like all night long. You know, I can't drink regular ginger beer either because of that. SideQuest here said, I'm here. What did I miss? I don't even remember. Like, booze. What did we talk about? Cars.
What's that?
SideQuest Hero says.
Yeah. SideQuest Hero? Okay,
yeah. Said, what did I miss?
She hasn't missed anything. It's just normal.
Yeah, Danny said absolutely nothing. Yeah, that's what I was having Cady remember what we were talking about this whole time. We haven't been on that long, honestly.
Yeah, Xanada says that he believes that whatever you think is going to happen after you die, that's probably what will happen to you. Yeah, that's true. Because when you go out, when you're kind of astral, it's almost kind of like a virtual reality. If you feel real guilty about certain things, you'll make a hell for yourself where you'll punish yourself until you feel like you've been punished enough, and then you'll come out of there. But that's not a fucking new idea. In Zoroastrianism, it was like that, where when you died in the ancient Zoroastrian religion, everybody pretty much went to hell to burn off their impurities, and then once they paid for their crimes against other people, they then emerged purified. Well, you're going to get whatever you think you deserve. But it'll continue, you know what I mean? Then you kind of reincarnate. I also saw something. what the Greeks would have called the pleroma, which is just a big white sphere of fucking singing and shit. And I saw that it was kind of pulled towards it. But I knew that if I went into that thing, I'd never come out as myself anymore. I would have been absorbed into a fucking universal consciousness. Maybe you would come out eventually, but you'd come out totally different. You'd come out new in some weird way. I don't think you couldn't be... I remember what it was. You couldn't be reborn into the life that you were. Like, if you go there, you die. You can't go back to your body. That's what it was. People would call it heaven. It's more like a singularity of consciousness.
Murder Hornet said couldn't stand the taste of gin.
I like gin.
I like a gin and tonic every now and then, but admittedly, if I drink more than 2 or 3 of them, I probably will throw up. And that's not true of any other liquor.
Gin was my drink when I was hanging out at Man Ray in Boston.
Yeah. I like a gin. Like, every now and then I'm like, man, I really want a gin and tonic. But like I said, I can't drink more than... I'll drink 2 or 3 of them, and then I'm like, yeah, I got to drink something else because they're too acidic.
Gin tonic with a twist of lime. Used to love it because you'd dance on that shit, and it would start coming out of your pores, and it felt good.
And you smelled good, too. You smelled like juniper berries.
Yeah, something about it.
It does smell good.
Yeah.
Which is good, because like I said, I'll be barfing it up like later.
Yeah.
Gin is pretty much the only thing that's like guaranteed to make me throw up if I drink more than like 3 of them in a night. I do like them, though. We don't have any gin in the house. Every now and then I kind of think about getting it.
We can get it. Beefeater. I like Beefeater.
I do, too, but I like Bombay Sapphire, too.
That's good,
Yeah, but that's what I always used to get. Because I used to... When I lived in...
Canada's fucked up. Of course, I didn't say that Fireball was before Goldschlager. Goldschlager was the original, but I said you're going to go with the American version of it, which is Fireball, which is better.
Fireball's like I said, I can't drink any of that.
Fireball's better, man. That's like Goldschlager on steroids. Yeah, Goldschlager's old. That's 40s, I think.
Mr. Meat said tastes like floor polish. What, gin does? Gin is an acquired taste. I get that. And it's just like, well, look, like Tom really likes tequila. I don't like tequila. Yeah. Like, I'll have a tequila sunrise as long as it's not like super strong, but I don't like the taste of tequila. Yeah. I do like gin though. But I understand that some people might not, because it is a very distinctive flavor and some people might not like that. Xander said my all-time favorite drink is the same as the dude's, a White Russian. Those are actually really good.
SideQuest Hero says the Fireball's better. It is better. It's stronger. It's both peppermint schnapps, but I think, no, it's not. Fireball, I think, is cinnamon schnapps.
It's cinnamon schnapps.
Cinnamon schnapps, but it's similar. Very similar.
Peppermint schnapps. I used to have a bottle of peppermint schnapps in the freezer for like a long time. I love that shit.
I like Fireball better. It's hotter.
I like peppermint everything.
Yeah.
You can peppermint everything, that's going to be my go-to flavor. Yeah. You know? Murder Hornet said, I really don't like the taste of any booze. I just drink for effect. Interesting.
That's where you're wrong. Some of that's just fucking really good. You just got to know where to drink, what to drink.
Well, and I kind of feel like, too, if you're used to drinking stuff that's just kind of like, not bottom of the barrel, but it's just kind of like average.
Yeah.
There is a big difference between the expensive shit and the average price shit.
Fucking knowing Murder Hornet and shit, he's probably drinking his cheap shit. Just give me the cheapest one. He's probably like that. Drink good shit, man.
And I will attest.
What you do is you have a good fucking...
Look at you just putting that eye patch on.
This will be giving more gravitas.
Okay.
All right.
Hold on. Just for that reason.
Yeah. I'm going Snake Plissken. This is what you do. You go to a bar and you make friends with a bartender until you have a fucking good bartender. And the bartender's... If your first bartender really should be a man. All right. That way you know... Fucking, he's got to be like a good bartender. But they got some women out there that are badass bartenders too. All right, but a lot of times it's the men because they're way into it. Other times you go to a certain club, the female bartenders, a lot of them, they're kind of like temporary employees. They're just they really don't know how to make a drink. They just look good and they're just going.
Although I will
say get fired a lot.
That at iBar,
at iBar the girls were good.
Tiff. She was awesome.
Yeah.
She worked there forever.
Right. It depends on
And Lee was great too. He was a dude, but he was like the bar manager, and he was also fantastic.
We're friends with club owners, and some of those guys just marry a girl based on her looks. Then they'll teach her how to make drinks, but not real well. But then our main one was an American guy who had British parents. He was British American.
Yeah, every now and then he'd be talking in like a British. We met his parents a couple of times.
Yeah, Lee, what was his last name?
Courtly,
that's right. And
not sure where he's working now. He was at that bar at SeaWorld for a while, but I don't know where he's at now.
You could just go, Lee. He would know. He already knew what you liked. You go, Lee, man, why don't you make me something I've never had before? It's gonna be fantastic. He's like, yeah, you want it to be strong? I said, yeah. Okay, hold on.
And he would make something. I mean, because we knew him forever.
Yeah, so. And he goes, this one here is called the cat's ass, or some shit like that. You never could tell what it was gonna be. Like, oh, the cat's ass?
He's like, surprise me.
The cat's ass.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, that is the cat's ass. You know what I mean? This one's called the dog's bollocks. It could be anything, you know.
Sorry, I was just reminded of Eddie. For somehow it's like if something's bollocks, it's bullshit. But if it's the dog's bollocks, it's really good.
Good. Yeah.
The queen, that outfit, that's the dog's bollocks, and she'll say thank you very much for staying, though. Yeah.
But Lee was
Lee
was a great bartender. He could
well, I'm sure he still is.
Came up with
he's just not.
Well, he's not around anymore, so he's in the past. We saw him at the club. Him and his wife.
He actually came to the new Barbarella, like him and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, man, where have you been? He said where he was working, but I couldn't hear him.
He's working at another bar. I think it has to be in downtown Disney, right?
That's what I thought. I thought he was at a bar at SeaWorld for a while, and then I think he was working at downtown Disney somewhere.
That's right.
I thought it was SeaWorld.
Yeah. He's young. He's younger than me. A little bit.
He's probably pushing 40 by this
pushing 40
point.
Now. He worked for fucking decades at iBar.
He was the bar manager.
Yeah.
He's an awesome dude. I really like Lee a lot.
Yeah.
And like I said, the other main bartender there was Tiff, and she is also awesome. I love her.
Too, yeah.
She is fantastic. I don't know where she's working now, unfortunately. But yeah, because none of them, when iBar, retook their name as Barbarella and moved to the pickleball building, none of them wanted to go.
Yeah.
So they're hiring door people, by the way.
Where?
At Barbarella. Didn't know if you wanted to do that. I mean, it kind of cramps your style because you'd have to do it on.
Yeah. No,
they're only open Saturday nights and sometimes Friday nights if it's Memento, and every now and then Sunday night if it's a holiday on Monday. He doesn't open every night. He doesn't have to. Like, he has money from other business ventures. So he just opens, which is what I thought was cool, because the guy that owns Barbarella, which is what it used to be called, and then it was called Independent Bar, and then he changed the name back. He has so many other business concerns that he just opened Barbarella back up one night a week for all the people that went there, like all the regulars.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't really...
He's not really making anything.
He's like, I don't really care if I make any money or not. He's just like, I just wanted it. I mean, he ran Independent Bar for 30 fucking years, like in downtown Orlando. And he's into it. He DJs, he does all this other stuff, and he just loves that. So he's just like, I just wanted a place for everybody to go. I don't make any money off it, really. It's like I make a little bit, but he's
making money off pickleball.
Yeah, he owns this whole big building.
Yeah.
Where they come and play pickleball and all this other kind of shit. So they have the club in like
center.
Yeah, they have the club in like one little corner of it. And he's like,
it looks like a club too.
And it does, They have it they have it like walled off, and it's just kind of like they got all, lights and screens and everything like that. It's really cool. And like I said, it's kind of cool because it's almost like an old school rave.
Yeah. Because
you can't even really find it even with GPS. It's kind of a little difficult to find.
You got to go down to the warehouse district.
It's in the warehouse district. So, like, everything's closed, and you're just kind of like, wait, am I in the right place? Yeah. There's all these, like, semi-trucks and everything.
You guys can find it. You can find Barbarellas
There's no
Google.
Sign or anything.
You can find Barbarellas on Google. It's here outside. What town is that called?
It's in Orlando.
Orlando? Okay.
It's on John Young Parkway, but not really.
The good thing about that place is that only scenesters know about it.
Because you can't really find, you can't wander in there. There's no way.
Foot traffic.
There's no way.
You got to go there on purpose. All right. And what that means is that there's no normies. It's just freaks.
So everybody is safe.
Yeah. And what that means is a lot of scantily clad people, mostly women, just because they're all safe. Because everybody knows everybody,
and no one's gonna fuck with them.
No one's gonna. You don't have any.
You can just go and like fly, and you can dance and like not worry about a single thing. You don't got to worry about your
random motherfucker coming.
You don't got to worry about your drink getting spiked. You don't got to worry about your purse getting stolen. You don't got to worry about getting molested. You don't got to worry about any of that.
Yeah, and
it's awesome.
And if they're in there, they've been in the scene for decades, most of them, and they got young people showing up now, too. Young ones that know about it, but they're all in the scene. And some of them come in, they're just the fucking wildest, skippiest outfits. It's fucking, they're all gothed out and shit. It wouldn't be acceptable fucking in the mainstream, but for us, we're like, yeah. We know all about this.
Well, and everybody leaves them alone. You can do, like I said, and it's cool because one of the things that John, the guy that owned iBar, and going back a long time, one of the things that was really important to him was that he wanted a place where everyone could go and feel welcome.
Yeah. And
so there was always like a big gay contingent. There was always like, trans people could come there. It's like everything. And
lesbian.
Yeah, and like everything was fine. Like nobody would fuck with you.
The two main lights, they got like a fucking new wave, like an 80s new wave type theme night.
Yeah.
And that could be anybody. That's a big gay night too. A lot of gays got dudes show up to that one.
And a lot of old people like our age.
Just mainstream people show up. And then they got the goth nights.
Yeah, and that's like once or twice a month.
And that's a real mixture. They're all gothic, or you shouldn't be there. But the age groups are fucking like going all the way down to fucking late teens.
It's everything from like 19 to like 60.
60.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And fucking the fashion is through the roof.
And everyone's just kind of like, hey, what's up?
Yeah. Yep.
Everybody either knows everybody or knows somebody that knows that person.
And you got in there, I would say mostly straight people, followed by bisexual people, followed by gay, and then a few transgender people.
Yeah, we do have like some trans people.
But it's funny because like a friend of ours, who's biological female, is hooked up and now carrying the child of a trans female girl that we've known for fucking ever. So it's kind of like a lesbian relationship.
Well, like I said,
one of them was a biological male who got her pregnant. Even though, and I was talking to her and I was just like going, because I'm on hormones too, but I'm on male hormones. How the hell did you get fertile enough to fucking not, and she's laughing, well, I can do it,
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very, like I said, that was one of the things I think that even attracted me to the goth scene when I was a kid back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Was that it was just it's very accepting. They're just kind of like...
Well, no, it's not.
Well...
You have to be cool.
Well,
if
yeah.
You're not cool,
I mean, accepting of weirdos.
Yeah.
Like, they're not accepting of, like, normie-ass people or obnoxious people. They're not accepting of that.
People who aren't cool.
But, and if you're a weirdo or a rapist or something like that, yeah, they're going to get up your ass like pretty. But in a way, that's another thing that's good because it's very... I mean, especially in the Orlando scene, I've always found. And the Tampa scene isn't quite the same. Tampa has always seemed more cliquey to me. A little bit. And I didn't spend a lot of time in the Tampa scene. I did live over there for several years. And that's why I thought, like, that whole SNL thing where, with Dieter and everything. That was, they were, like, fighting over Tampa and Orlando. That's why I thought that was, like, hilarious because that's a real thing. Yeah. Not so much nowadays. But I did kind of find when I lived in Tampa in the early 2000s, it was a lot clickier than Orlando. The Orlando scene is a lot friendlier. I will say that.
A lot of that had to do with the 90s. 90s goth scene was extremely clicky. I was hanging out at Man Ray in Boston. It was like the best goth club in the nation at that time in the 90s. It was fucking clicky and fucking backstabby, catty.
Which you do get that. Yeah. And I think on one of our older videos where we were talking about the goth scene, somebody commented that they had always found the goth scene very cliquey and very snotty and like it was hard to get into, which I guess that's true to a point. It depends on where you are though. The Orlando scene I've always found was much more, I guess because Orlando is a city where everybody is from somewhere else, except me. I'm from here. But you know what I mean? Everyone's from somewhere else. So it's a lot more open-ended. It's a lot more, I don't know. I've just found people friendlier in Orlando, I thought. Like, people are a lot less cliquey. Yeah. They are cliquey, but not...
It's less.
Much less.
Yeah.
Tampa, I thought, was very cliquey, but we haven't been there in a while. We only go to Tampa, like, for some big event or something.
Yeah, big events and shit.
Like, if they're doing the Vampire Ball or something, like, we'll go over there for
Absolution Fest.
Yeah, or Absolution or something, which is in October.
There's no reason to drive down that far. We got good shit around here.
Yeah. Like I said, I do like to go to Absolution. I do all their graphics, so we get in for free.
Yeah.
And it's 3 days of, like, kick-ass bands. So we usually go, and it's like a Starry Night are usually there, and it's like there's a lot of other good bands, like Twin Tribes and stuff.
We haven't seen them in a while. Where's that? I need to fucking... That bitch Michael hasn't fucking talked to me in for fucking forever. When's their next show? You know?
Oh, I don't know.
I have to smack
They've been in... They were in Europe.
Yeah.
Recently.
I got them signed from their first label.
They're so cool. I love those dudes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's a good band. A friend of mine, Imani, who had pulled with this one label, was like, Tom, who's your favorite band in Florida?
In Florida,
and I said, The Starry Night.
They're from Miami.
Like, who are they?
From Miami.
Yeah, they're from Miami. Fucking 2 weeks later, she goes, remember that band you liked, The Starry Night? She goes, I got them signed for you.
Yeah.
I was like, who you did? Okay, good. And fucking, I ended up meeting them later. They're like, you did it? I said, yeah. And I never met them. I just listened to their music. I thought they were the best band in Florida.
I mean, they're really
at
good.
That time. And they got better. They got better as they went.
I thought that too. It's just like, big hit. I mean, their early shit is good too, but it's just kind of like as it went on, like they got better and better and better.
Yeah, it sounds like a bullshit story I would tell.
No, it's true. I was there.
That's true. That's true.
I would call you out if it was bullshit. Yeah. It's not.
No.
Well, the hilarious thing to me is that A Starry Night, Michael is like the
lead singer.
The lead singer.
Yeah.
He's young enough to be my kid.
Yeah.
And he knew a lot of goth music. He was like super into The Cure, and he was super into like shit like that. But it's just kind of like some goth music, like deeper cuts, he didn't know about until we told him.
Yeah.
Because he asked Tom at one point, who do you think I sound like? And he's just like, well, you kind of sound like Roz Williams. Who's that?
Yeah, and I was like, what?
From Christian Death.
And what was
and fun? Then he went back and listened to Christian Death. And from that point, it does seem like they went a little more in that direction. Yeah. Although I will note that Howard, another guy in the band,
he's
is
actually the
older.
Yeah.
And I've talked to him extensively. He's he's real into like old goth and death rock. He's real into horror movies.
Yeah.
Because I talked to him about Dario Argento at length. Because he's more our age. Like he's a little bit younger than me, but he's still like our age.
Brains in terms of composing the music and shit and making the song is Howard. But the other guys,
Howard's awesome. I like him.
Howard fucking knows.
They're all good. They're all cool dudes.
They're all good. But Howard knows how it should sound.
Right.
And fucking and you're like, damn, that sounds like an old fucking Chameleons UK song.
It does, yeah. And
that just sounds like and dude, that reminds me. He goes, yep, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And it's
because he knows exactly all that shit,
right? Yeah.
Because I was talking to him about old horror movies, old goth music, and stuff. He knows all that shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, you passed the test. You're all right.
Michael was like,
I don't think he's quite Howard. I don't think he's quite our age.
A little bit younger. I think he's a little bit
But he's only a little bit younger.
Yeah.
But, like, he's into all that shit.
Yeah.
That shit.
Michael was a big Cure fan. So
yeah.
He really kind of homaged fucking Robert Smith a lot.
Sure.
But he's a skinny Robert Smith. He's real skinny. He's got hair like that. But he didn't sound too much like Robert Smith.
He didn't.
Just a lot of his lyrical content was kind of like something Robert Smith would sound like. And we were partying after one of the shows in their hotel room. They were all in there and fucking had girls. One girl I had to kick out. Remember, she ended up being a friend of mine.
I remember that.
She ended up being a friend of mine.
We had to kick a girl out.
We had to kick her out, but she was a friend of mine. He was like, she's got to go.
Do you remember?
Let me finish the story, though.
Well, no, I was going to say.
Okay, he goes, Tom, who do I sound like? And I said, you sound like Roz Williams to me. And he's like, who's Roz Williams? Jenny says that.
And I was just like...
And he goes,
I'm leaving.
Yeah. and he goes, and I go, I'll send you some Roz Williams tomorrow.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay.
Christian
so I sent him some Roz Williams, and he goes, you're right. I do sound like Roz Williams.
He does sound like Roz Williams.
And then as time
not exactly,
went on,
but kind of.
He sounded more and more like Roz Williams because he was just kind of. But he sounds kind of like an upbeat Roz Williams. There's no such thing as an upbeat Roz Williams, but he kind of like a more upbeat.
Roz Williams killed himself. Yeah. By the way.
Right.
You know.
Roz was friends with Javier, friend of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking weird.
I mean, I love Christian Death. Yeah. I do. I even like some of the after Roz Williams died, he committed suicide when he was 31, something like that.
Yeah, he killed himself on April Fool's Day.
Yeah. It was a whole thing.
He got addicted to heroin and it was fucking up his career, and he fucking, in a moment of weakness, he killed himself, hung himself.
Yeah.
Which is
I think he wanted
a douchebag fucking thing to do because he had a shit ton of fans and his career would have gotten a lot better had he just waited.
But see, the thing about it, like I said, the same thing happened. I think he was trying, in a way, it seemed like he was trying to homage Ian Curtis, right? Ian Curtis also hung himself in 1980.
They sounded very different, though.
Well, yeah, it wasn't really the same thing. But when you get to that point, you're just like, you're not thinking about, I don't know, you're not really like thinking about, you're just thinking kind of about, well, nobody really like cares that I'm here, or I don't know, you're looking at it from like a healthy mental mindset. And he did not have that.
Xander was laughing that I was calling bullshit on my own story.
Yeah.
No, I had to call bullshit on my own story because it sounds like something somebody would make up.
It's not, though.
But it's not.
I was there.
Yeah, it's not.
We found A Starry Night.
We're well connected.
Randomly.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
Yeah, found it randomly.
Because we were just like looking for, it's like, let's listen to like some new goth music.
Yeah, and I was like, that's a good band.
And we listened to them and we're like, wow, they're really good.
Yeah.
And then, like, we listened to them a lot, and then, like, my friend, Imani, I did she mostly does death metal, but she did, like, you know, because I did a lot of posters for her and stuff. But, she does, like, goth shows, too, and she was just, like, asked Tom, she's like, who is your favorite goth band in Florida? And at that point, we had listened to them on YouTube. You had talked to them on YouTube when you could message people on YouTube.
I talked to Michael.
Right. And we told her about them.
Yeah.
And she got that shit going, man.
Yeah, she went over there and got them. She want to sign you. So, yeah, it happened.
Yeah.
It sounds like something I would make up.
No, that really happened. No, it happened.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, our friend Imani, she has her own
we knew people.
Production company. Like I said, she mostly does death metal. That's her main thing.
Here's another thing that y'all don't know. Jenny has done most of the black metal album covers and CD covers. How many of them have you done? Fucking 100 of them bitches?
No, not 100.
The ones from Florida.
A lot. Like all of the one thing, okay, if there is a poster for a goth rock show, or if there is a poster for a death metal show in Central Florida,
that's her.
I probably did it.
Yeah.
I probably did it.
And a lot of your black metal bands that were between a certain years.
Yeah.
Jenny did that. Most likely. If they're from Florida.
Yeah. I did a lot of, especially like, I did a lot of stuff for Withering Earth. I did some stuff for Kids Without Heroes. I did A Starry Night, actually, this isn't metal, but I did a Starry Night album cover. I did a lot of stuff, you know. Jeffy Art gave us another $5.
Thank you, Jeffy.
I always found my goth alt high school classmates to be the least judgy, especially as I came out. They got me into different types of music and film and D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, like I said,
they're not hung up about orientation. They never were.
No.
But they're hung up about whether or not you're an asshole or not. That's the thing.
Well, I think everybody should be hung up about that.
Yeah, you got along with them because you weren't an asshole. If you were an asshole, it wouldn't have worked out.
Well, because, like I said, I think that was what attracted me to the scene when I was young. When I was like, because I was really like maybe 12 or 13 when I first became aware of it in the early 80s. And I was just kind of like, this is something that they don't really give a shit what your sexuality is. They don't give a shit what you're wearing. They don't really give a shit. It's just like, if you're cool to them, then...
No, they do give a shit if you're wearing what you're wearing.
What, no.
If you showed up in some fucking...
Well, yeah. But that's...
ass fucking
right.
mainstream bullshit and the fucking... Yeah, they would.
Well, yeah, but like I said, that's because we had so much grief from that in our lifetime. So we need to look out for that stuff. You know? Mr. Deming has said death metal, hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, I do, like, I don't listen to it a lot myself, but we have a lot of friends that are into that, and I do a lot of graphic design for a lot of those bands, especially if they're from this area. If they're from Central Florida, then I've done a lot of their posters or album covers or something like that. Xana said, we didn't have goth kids in my school, only juggalos. Oh, that's sad. That's the fucking juggalos, man. Don't get me started on that. Don't get me started. Xander said, so I'd fit in the goth group. I'd bring the good weed. Yeah, honestly, when I was in high school, you know, and I was pretty gothy then. And, you know, we hung out with anybody that was a weirdo for any reason. Like, so if you were a goth in high school, and like I graduated in 1990, so my high school years were late 80s to 1990. If you were into punk rock, if you were into goth rock or whatever, if you were just weird in general, if you were trans or gay or anything like that, and people were like picking on you, then you were in our friend group. At that time, we were just like all the weirdos. Like I said, we were the people that got picked on all the time. But like I said, we were kind of like used to it at that point, and we didn't really give a shit about it. Juggalos, though, I'm not okay. Can we talk about juggalos?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna fucking put on a couple of socks over this sock because it's starting to rub.
Okay, so he's gonna do
that
socks.
Shit happens. I don't want to get a blister. I don't know if it's my pant leg doing that. It might be my pant leg.
Why'd you take your eye patch off?
Because I gotta see. I need some binocular vision. All right. I can't tell. Okay.
I actually don't. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't actually know if I knew any juggalos. That might have been after my time. That was after my time, right? I graduated from high school in 1990. Yeah, that was like after I was out of high school. Yeah. So I wouldn't have like known anybody that was into that. Like I said, when I graduated, it was my friend group was goth people, punks, you know, gay or trans people, which there was a couple of those, and just weirdos, nerds. Pretty much. Like, we all just kind of hung out together. Because we were just, like, the rejects, I guess.
That's a lot better. It's a lot better now. It's working.
Okay. You fixed it?
Yeah, I had to get some more cushion in there.
All right.
Didn't want that shit rubbing on there to give me a blister.
I never got into ICP, gonna say.
I liked them. I had a couple of their albums.
Gonna say, like,
I had like Riddle Box.
I hope nobody takes any offense, but it always came across as very try-hard. It's very try-hard.
I thought it was comedy. I liked it. It was a Detroit thing.
I guess.
Yeah.
It wasn't really my thing.
Well, it's rap.
Yeah, it wasn't really my thing.
It's almost 9.
That's okay.
Leaving 9:30, I think.
Yeah, about then.
Great Malenko, I remember that album. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was the one before that. I think it was called Riddle Box. I liked the best. I think it was kind of black and orange.
Yeah, you liked that. I was just kind of like not. SideQuest Hero said I used to chill with the Juggalos. Also said goths were the best people I ever met.
Who said that?
SideQuest Hero said
that. SideQuest Hero, yeah.
Honestly, I've always found that people who were into goth or black metal or horror movies or anything like that, generally those are the nicest fucking people ever. Generally. And I don't know why that is. No, I think I do know why that is. But it's just kind of like, I don't know. I've just found that to be the case. Normal people, you never know what you're going to get. It could be like a nice person. It could be like a serial killer. You know what I mean? Because they look normal, so you're not really sure what you're getting. Goth people, death metal people, people that are in horror movies, they're usually very much themselves. So what you see is what you get. They're not hiding anything. They're not trying to put on a false face, I guess. So usually those people are, 99% of those people are the nicest people you will ever come across. And I have found that all across the board. Being in the goth scene since the 80s, being into horror movies, going to horror conventions and stuff like that, most of those people are just the fucking sweetest people ever.
Yeah, there's limits to that, though.
Oh, yeah, but there is to everything.
Yeah. They got some diva motherfuckers, you know what I mean? Some goth diva women that will not, girls that will not, they won't even talk to you. All right.
But see, I don't like people like that in general.
Yeah, they were out there.
Yeah, I know. I met a couple.
You don't see as many of them as you used to. Really,
no.
That was really like a thing of the 90s.
Yeah, that's kind of like back in the day.
The clothes were hard to get it was hard to get your hands on clothes. So some chick had badass clothes. She just thought she was the fucking queen, you know.
And she'd like look down her nose at you and stuff.
Now you can fucking put together some fantastic outfits out of shit you got off of Shein or fucking Temu. They have some good shit on there. You just got to know how to combine it. These young people, I'm calling them kids, the youngsters like in their late teens and early 20s that are showing up to the club, they're showing up in 80s inspired, 90s inspired
they
death
look
rock,
fabulous.
Death rock out.
They look fabulous. Great.
Yeah,
and they know all the music, like all the old music.
Yeah, they're not fake. They're the real thing. They know all the old.
They know all the old
shit. Listen to Specimen and 45 Grave and shit.
It's awesome.
And they have access to clothes that we would have fucking killed for.
Yeah.
And they don't pay much for them. That shit was super expensive back back in the day. People don't realize that you have to fork over fucking $150 for a fucking pair of fucking goth boots. And that was a lot of money back in the fucking 80s, early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. Especially when you were young and maybe didn't even have a fucking regular job, you know. So a lot of goth look was do it yourself. It was just what you could find at a thrift store. You're cutting things and trying to redo things and making something out of nothing. Now you can buy it for fucking $20, you know. Yeah. You can get
it's much easier to look
boots,
awesome nowadays.
Badass boots for $60 that would have been like a $200 back in those days. You know.
Because that's what... Okay, so Xanada says, the problem with being goth is I'm not down with spending $700 on boots and having an elaborate wardrobe. You don't have to do that anymore.
You don't have to do that anymore.
Back in the 80s you did.
Yeah.
Not $700 on boots, but they were expensive. Like, all the shit was expensive because it was specialty. Like, nobody was selling that. Nobody was, like... So you had to go to, like, specialty... Like, the first time I bought a corset back in the 80s, I spent $300 on that stuff. Yeah. And it was custom made.
Yeah.
Because nobody was selling them.
Yeah.
Just...
Or they were trying to really skin you the shit. They were just trying to skin you up over the prices.
Yeah.
You could get a superior corset now, steel boned, from India. All right, for about $60.
Yeah, I got a bunch of them.
Yeah, $40 to $60, and they're great.
She sells on eBay. She makes them by hand.
Yeah,
but she sells them like cheap because she makes a bunch of them.
Yeah,
you can find, and honestly, like even back in the day, because you know my broke ass, I just went to thrift stores. I went to thrift stores, found like old lace dresses and I would cut them and like do.
Yeah.
You know, you would just kind of like alter them yourself because you had to. You didn't have a lot of money.
As far as guys' boots for the goth scene, you can get away with Demonia. They got some Demonia stuff. It's usually kind of like a big goth platform, type of moon boot looking thing. You're going to spend about $120 for that.
But they last forever.
No, not Demonia. Demonia lasts a couple years.
Still.
If you want to last forever, you're going to want to buy that. All right.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a new rock.
New rocks,
yeah. I paid $350 for those.
But you've had those for forever. You've had those for years.
That's all real leather and metal and fucking shit. This is what you're gonna see. New rock is what you see all those metal guys. Rob Halford and fucking all the metal bands and
they're
shit.
expensive, but
you only have to buy them once.
But you only have to buy them.
Yeah, I got 2 pair of them,
and you can buy them, and you can wear them forever.
It's just a pair of shoes. Got huge platforms on them. They look like something you could just jump off a motorcycle and pull you across. They look like some kind of stunt boot. They are motorcycle inspired, but they got spikes. Some have spikes on them, buckles, all kinds of shit. The more that's on it, the more it's going to cost you. Steel bumpers that run around them. But that other pair of shoes, I think, is now almost 20-something years old, and it's just brand new. I'll show you.
Yeah, I mean, you can wear them forever. They last forever. Like I said, you pay a lot for them up front, but you can wear them for ages. And they don't really age. Like I said, the goth scene is kind of like a different... We're not really on the same... So it's just kind of like, oh, that's out of date or whatever. You can still wear those 20 years from now, and people are like, yeah, those are some awesome shoes. So you spend $300 on them, but you can wear them for like fucking 20 years. You know what I mean? Murder Hornet said Doc Martens. I have a couple pairs of Doc Martens. I have a pair of red ones, and I have a pair of like blue and green plaid ones.
These are my shoes.
Yeah, and he's had those forever.
These are pushing 30 years.
Yeah, you had those when I met you, and that was a long time ago.
I got them used off of Aleta.
Yeah.
Aleta gave these to me.
Who'd they belong to before that?
She got them from somebody. She was selling them.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's too big for her feet.
No.
Oh, okay.
She was doing some kind of online, like, eBay type
gotcha.
business at the time. And she gave them to me as a gift, and they were used then. But that's...
And you've had those for ages.
Yeah, they're handmade in Spain.
Yeah.
And they're just these fucking... aggressive fucking looking, and they've been repaired. This used to be a metal bumper, put a leather bumper on it instead. You can add things to them, like that leather strap was added to that. I added that to that.
Yeah.
So because it's all real materials and high quality materials, you can take this to a shoe shop and repair it.
Yeah.
That's all real leather. Lasts forever. I said,
it's just, I mean, even the goth scene
thick leather
has its own high-end kind of thing where like everything is like a specialty.
Yeah.
And that's going back like years. You had people like what's that chick that did what the fuck was the name of that?
Cambrio?
Yes,
yeah,
thank
she was
you.
a friend of mine.
You knew exactly who you were talking. Who I was talking about? Cambrio. Who made her own clothes.
Yeah.
And back in those days, she would make everything like specific, and it was expensive. I bought one of her dresses. It was green velvet, and it had like the long sleeves with like the lace and everything like that. It was like super cool. I don't think I have it anymore, but I bought that from her. I don't remember how much it was, but I saved up and like bought it because that was kind of like the epitome. If you bought something from Cambriel, that was like a big deal because she was like known as like the big goth designer at the time.
Yeah, it was funny.
Even though it was like super underground, like nobody nobody knew about her in the mainstream, I don't think.
It was funny about Cambriel is she was maybe about 5'1", this little bitty.
Yeah, I remember her.
Real young. She lived in Salem, which was about a half hour from where the club where we used to go to in Boston, Man Ray. And she was like a little ginger, and she'd show up in this 1800s dresses. She could make 1800s dresses.
Yeah, she made all her own shit. It was beautiful.
It was all handmade.
All Victorian.
She made all the clothes for the girl from Faith and the Muse.
Yeah.
A lot of the goth stars.
Yeah, everybody went to her.
Yeah, she'd make her stuff.
Because she was kind of famous.
And she was just a little mousy, very quiet, cute. I'm going to find a picture of Cambrio.
Yeah.
What she looked like.
I think she's still around. She's still making clothes.
Yeah, she made custom
I think
clothes.
She's still making clothes.
She was, at that time, she was making stuff look like it was right out of Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah. So, like I said, we had our own thing, but it's like a lot of times you couldn't afford it. Because it was all custom made. It had to be. Nowadays, you can get that shit, like, easy. Now you can just buy shit off, like you said, like fucking Shein or Temu or whatever, and it looks good. And I kind of feel like somebody said earlier that, like, goth kids nowadays have it a lot easier. Yeah. They do. And honestly, we see that. Like, we go out to mannequins or whatever, and there's a contingent They even have like a thing that they call baby bat invasion, right?
Yeah.
Which is all like people that are in their 20s.
That was Cambrio.
Yeah, that's Cambrio.
And that's exactly how she looked.
Yeah, she made all those fucking clothes back then. Everybody in the goth scene knew who Cambrio was.
See if I can... There's another picture. That's how she looked. She looked like that. That was her in the 90s.
Yeah, and she made all that shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, you were going to pay to buy her clothes.
But like I said, she made all that stuff.
Yeah.
Individually. You know what I mean?
So. Here she is at the club. I think she's at the club. Yeah.
That's what he did. Everybody knew who Cambrio was back in the old days. Before now. When you could get shit cheap. But back then, you had to get everything custom made. I couldn't afford that. But,
No, sir.
Yeah. Like I said, she's still around. She's still doing stuff. She's still got her company still open and everything. But, I was going somewhere and I forgot where I was. I forgot where I was doing it.
She was in the goth fashion magazines going back. I think she might have even been in Propaganda.
She was, yeah, I
remember.
remember.
In Propaganda, and she was definitely in Gothic Beauty magazine.
Well, yeah, I remember that. But she was in Propaganda too. Yeah. Yeah, her ads were in Gothic Beauty for sure. But she was in Propaganda like even before that. Like I said, everybody back in the day, in the late 80s, early 90s, everybody knew who she was.
Yeah.
Everybody in the scene knew who she was.
I tried to go out with her. She turned me down.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, tell me that story.
Dropped my nuts. Just asked her if she wanted a drink. She's like, no thanks. I says, you want to have a drink?
Oh.
She was like, no, not with you. And I was just like, okay.
I'm always finding out new things about you, Tom.
Yeah.
Look at all this shit you never tell me.
Yeah.
You actually you tried to hook up with Cambrio?
Yeah.
And she said nothing.
She said, shot me down, yeah.
Oh, nice.
No, not with you.
Oh my god, I love it.
I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, I'm going to remember that. You never told me that before. That's awesome.
It's a need to know basis.
It's Oh, and I didn't need to know? Okay.
Didn't need to know. That was to been in 1996.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Yeah, 96.
I am always finding out new things about you, Tom. This is this is what makes you fascinating. Because it's like, I'm always you did all kind of crazy shit like back in the day.
Yeah. And
it's like, and then sometimes we'll be talking and you'll just like randomly say some kind of shit. I was like, oh, I did this and that. I'm just like, what? Yeah. Tell me more about that. Because you never told me that before.
Yeah.
I wish I was that interesting. I'm not.
You weren't at the right place at the right time.
Well, also nobody asked me about anything. So
you had in the 90s you had to be at Mad Ray.
Well, yeah, I was not there.
Didn't you run into like Tina Root and shit from Switchblade Symphony?
Did you ask her to?
No.
Did you fuck her or go out with her? Or
no.
Okay.
She was cool though. She was very cool.
You met her?
Met her and talked to her.
Oh, okay. You didn't tell me that either.
No, I saw an interview with her later, and they asked her where the best goth club was. She goes, Mad Ray, definitely. Mad Ray in Boston. Fucking, that's what she did. And it was the top club of the 90s.
Tom was just at the crux.
Yeah,
he was at the crux.
It was like this. Well, it was okay. The only other thing that could have come close would have been like the Bat Cave or the Vault or something down in New York. But Boston was fucking awesome because the people there had money.
Yeah,
they had money. Most of the kids that were going there were actually kind of going to college, and they had fucking rich daddies. They were paying for their bills and fucking buying their. You'd have fucking goth chicks showing up to the club, just decked out, and she came in a BMW. Yeah, that kind of shit. Going to Harvard or going to fucking Tufts or something like that. And she fucking drove to the fucking club in a fucking BMW that Dad bought.
Meanwhile, I'm buying clothes at thrift stores.
Yeah, and you're eating. And
eating ramen noodles.
Eating ramen noodles.
No, I did. Seriously, that's not even a joke.
No, they're rich goths. That's why that club was so good in those days, because only rich goths could afford those fucking clothes.
Yeah. But now, like I said, nowadays
now it's democratized.
It's a lot better. Like now, because like I said, we go out to mannequins or Barbarella, and you see 20-year-old kids.
Yeah.
And they look fantastic. They got all the shit. They got the hair. They got like the clothes. They know all the old music.
Yeah.
They look fantastic, and I guarantee that they did not spend more than $100 on an outfit. Maybe not even that much.
During the time that I was there, one of the hottest girls that showed up at the club was this chick. Her name was Delarna. And she was a Ford model, I heard. She was definitely some kind of model. But the rumor was that, and I think maybe I did ask her, she was a Ford model, which is like fucking top echelon model. I ain't gonna say it. Models do a lot of different things on the side, and modeling agencies have a different niche. A lot of that is fucking kind of like a dating service in a way for fucking rich people.
You know.
But yeah, so like some of our hottest goth chicks in that particular club were Ford models or equivalent.
It's hilarious that we kind of we have our own.
See if I can find her.
I mean, we have our own kind of we have our whole own kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's just like and it's weird because like everybody that's been in the goth scene for a long time, like I said, everybody that's been in the goth scene for a long time knows who Cambriel is. That's why I was kind of like hilarious that you kind of like tried to buy her drink and she.
Yeah.
You never told me that before. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's so funny. Because it's like she was one of my icons from back in the old days, because I would see her shit in like all the magazines and stuff, and I was just like, man, she's like, she built a business on goth, and that was hard to do back then because there wasn't, it was a limited market, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that she did that and she had like really nice clothes, like I said, I saved up and bought one of her dresses, and I loved it. I wore it for like a long time, but it's like, I eventually, I don't have it. It's too big for me now anyway, so I don't have it anymore. But I really did like it. Was really nice. It was like green velvet, But she made some really good shit. And like I said, I think she's still around. She made everything like I'm sure she doesn't do it anymore, but she made everything by hand. Xanada said, we finally hear about one of Tom's rare shot down stories.
No, I got shot down more than I got accepted. I just fucking
he just doesn't
50-50.
Oh, I want to hear 50-50. I want to hear about all the shot down stories.
I can't remember them all. It's like a numbers game.
Yeah, see, I kind of feel like that's what. Okay, so Tom is a person.
Yeah.
That has been.
I'm a person.
No. Well, you didn't let me finish my sentence.
All right.
Tom is a person who has been very successful with women. You've been very successful with women.
Yeah.
Like I said, your body count is very high.
Yeah.
Many times higher than mine is.
But it was quality, though.
But, well, yeah.
Yeah.
So, you are very popular with women.
Yeah.
And I noticed that when I first met you. You are, and you still are, very popular with women. But the thing about it is that I think what a lot of dudes don't understand is that to become popular with women, you have to get shot down.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, you have to overcome rejection.
Because
deal with rejection.
Yeah, you have to learn what it feels like to have a girl be like, yeah, no thanks.
Yeah.
And not get upset about it. You have to do that. And you also have to kind of you have to kind of get to a point where you don't really care about it.
Yeah. See, it's kind of like a system. There's a certain amount of numbers. There's a certain amount of a number game to it. But rule number one is you can't care too much. If you care too much, you're going to give off vibes of desperation. For me, I was always kind of in a state of plenty. There was a lot of them. Okay. So it was never kind of like something where I got to get a girlfriend.
I have to obsess about this one.
I mostly wasn't,
because you got to watch.
Yeah, I mostly wasn't
paying
I mostly wasn't paying attention. And there were two kind of girls back in the women also. The ones that were giving you action, ones that were trying to get your attention, and the ones that weren't. Okay, so it's a different strategy. A lot of times, the ones that were giving you the attention were the kind of like the ones that would probably be better for you. All right, because they're interested. A lot of the ones that fucking I'd be interested in that weren't interested in me may have just been feigning that they weren't interested in me, because they'll do that too, or they were interested in another guy and you might try to steal it, which I've done that also. But a lot of times if you're a guy and you had to go jump through hurdles to get it, you kind of didn't want it once you had it. Even though physically she might have been hot, you had to put up with a lot of bullshit that was unnecessary in order to score it. And this is the kind of thing, it's almost kind of like a young guy's fascination with conquest. Like, I got that one. Kind of like you're collecting something. Like
Which is weird to me, but
it's just, you're driven to do it.
Because like I said, I'm a woman and I'm a person, so it's
Yeah.
just kind of like, that's weird to me that dudes see me in that light.
What was better were the ones that fucking were coming after me. They were actually better. They were more fun.
I kind of did that.
Yeah, she was one. They were more fun. They were usually vibed better with you. Now some of the ones. Now here's the thing though, Jen. Some of the ones that were after me were unacceptable.
Well, I know who you're talking about.
She knows some of them. Some are like, nope.
I know some of those people.
Yeah. So
you were really, to be honest, you were the only person I don't want to say pursued, because I wasn't like a stalker type thing, but I did make it clear to you that I was interested in you.
Yeah.
And I just kind of let it go where it was going to go. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, I liked you instantly. I thought you were cool. I also knew you were a good chick. You were married and you weren't getting in any trouble, and she was cute and she was a good girl.
Yeah.
She was married when I first met her.
Yeah.
So the impression was different. And then when you started to separate from your husband and everything, you started just going out on the town on your own. We were hanging out.
Yeah.
And we would hook up occasionally. But you see, at that time, there were other women were going like, don't get serious with her. She just got divorced, man. She let her go.
And I did come out of a long... I was married for 14 years. I was married for 14 years.
Mainly it was Sonia. Sonia was like, she doesn't need to be in another serious relationship.
Oh, well...
She was vying for me.
Sonia was trying to get in your pants.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Although, the weird thing about Sonia is that she probably could have gotten your pants whenever... But...
She wanted me to try harder.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to try.
I think that's what it was. Well, and like I said, that's why kind of like when the three of us were hanging out, I was just kind of like, I always low key thought she was trying to get in your pants, but she didn't want you to know that, but it was very obvious to me that that's what she was doing.
It was pretty obvious to me too, but
it was very obvious. That's what she was doing.
She wanted me to try hard.
She wanted you to try harder.
And no, I don't play that.
Right.
It's normal.
Tom doesn't care enough.
No, I don't care. To me, it's normal. Honest. It's a normal friendship, a normal relationship. I'm not going to jump through some bitch's hoops. Sonia was cute, too. We had a threesome.
We did, yeah.
So, she was
a couple
cute,
of times,
she was, I wasn't going to put up with that shit. I'm going to show him something.
Yeah. She's a little bit of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, she's too much of a pain in the ass.
Well, and like I said,
liked her, though.
I like Sonia. I do. But, we haven't talked to her in a long time.
Yeah, she went back to her husband.
But yeah, we used to go out with her all the time. When she was kind of low key, she was kind of dating this dude. She had a kid with this dude, but they were kind of on again, off again. So it's like he didn't like us. He didn't like her going out with us, right?
Yeah.
But when they were broken up, we used to take her out. We used to drive her out because she would get really drunk, so we'd always have to kind of like drive her home and take care of her, you know what I mean? And every now and then she would like take some random ass dude home. So
that was Sonia back then.
Yeah, she's awesome. I like Sonia. But I always kind of feel like there was some kind of ulterior motives.
That was Sonia.
I'm gonna say, even though you and her never hooked up, you never dated, you never did anything like that. But I kind of feel like she had a thing about, she thought that you and her were a thing, even though you didn't really do anything. You know what I mean? She had a whole Facebook.
Well, we didn't do anything with you weren't there, unless you were there. Anytime.
Like the only time we did anything was when we were all.
But
like I said, even before that.
Yeah.
She had a whole Facebook you know, photo. What do you call it? Like a photo album.
Yeah.
Of him and her.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
Like before I met him.
Sonia
but they weren't boyfriend and girlfriend though.
She wanted that shit, but
she wanted him to be.
Yeah,
but then like when he asked her out, she said no.
Yeah, and this is what she looked like at the club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's super funny. She's fun.
Super hilarious.
She's super fun to hang out with.
Yeah.
She's super funny.
Yeah,
we hung out with her.
I think you took this photo of her.
I did actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took that picture of her.
Yeah, that was at the club.
Yeah, she's super funny and she's super fun to hang out with.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say
she's a cat.
100%
Catty.
her. I never
catty.
Because she said, I'm sure she said some shit about me behind my back.
Oh yeah, but I never really took it seriously.
That's her daughter, Lynn.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
She's probably like older now.
Yeah, she's fully grown now.
But I always got the impression that
she was like, she's not good enough for you.
Yeah, she always used to like say, yeah.
She was trying to steal me. But the thing is, I was like, okay, well then let's go out. She said, no.
And then she'd say no.
Because I'd have to triple down and double down and fucking jump through hoops. And I'm gonna jump through her fucking hoops. And another thing is that she kind of liked guys that were abusive. That was another thing. So you have to be real hard on her.
Great.
She's kind of into like a masochistic, like BDSM type shit.
Yeah. If you were nice to her,
if you were too nice, then she wasn't.
Which is kind of fucked up because I think that came from her upbringing.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like dudes that are like mean to me.
But Sonia was about 4'10", 4'11".
She's tiny.
Yeah,
but she seems bigger because she wore all those like platform boots and stuff.
She's about 4'10", and she probably
she's tiny.
Vegan, and she
weighs maybe 100 pounds, maybe not even 100 pounds.
Not 100 pounds, maybe 90.
Maybe
pounds,
90 pounds.
90 pounds.
She's a tiny person.
And then 5 pounds of that was implants.
Was boobs.
Boobs, yeah.
She got implants, but she's super skinny. She's super skinny.
Yeah.
But she always like whenever we went out,
she
looked
dance.
Fabulous. She always looked fabulous. She had like all the hair and like the makeup. She looked fantastic.
And she could do a perfect impersonation of Cher Bono.
And we used to like ask her to do that.
Do Cher, and we'd be
do
drunk.
Cher.
She'd be on the dance floor doing Cher and fucking.
Oh, so good.
The voice,
she could do the voice and everything.
Everything.
Oh my god, it was so awesome. It was so awesome.
Yeah.
It was so awesome. But it's like I haven't seen her in a long time.
Yeah.
She doesn't even post on social media that much.
We got married, and she goes, "Oh, really?"
Did she really?
She sent me that.
Oh my god, you never told me that.
Really? Yeah.
You told me that.
I told you that.
No, you told me that Tara.
The other one did, yeah.
You told me that Tara fucked with you about
it. Tara was like, "Oh, come on."
Yeah, you told me that Tara fucked with you. You didn't tell me that Sonia fucked
Sonia was
with
like,
you.
"Oh, really?"
Oh. No, you never told me that. You never told me.
Oh,
you told me Tara fucked with you about it.
So now you want to talk.
Oh.
Now you want to talk.
Okay.
Because she wouldn't talk.
I told you.
I messaged her a couple times on fucking Instagram.
She wouldn't answer.
No,
but then you married me, and suddenly
she all of a sudden
she answered.
Yeah.
I told you, man.
Yeah.
I told you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't tell me she did that. Yeah. I knew Tara I knew Tara had fucked with you about it.
They were talking. They're friends. They were talking to each other.
Sonia and Tara are best friends.
Yeah.
Tara
is the opposite of Sonia. Absolutely the opposite.
She was gunning for you back in the old days.
Yeah.
And like
no chance. That chick had no fucking chance.
I think she even told, remember back at Venue 13?
Yeah.
She told Paul, the DJ, that you were in love with her.
Oh yeah, in her dreams.
Yeah. She told him that.
In her fucking dreams. Paul knew better.
No,
Paul would go like, "Yeah, you're full of shit."
Well, because I think I don't know if we were going out at that time. We were like hanging out at that time.
No, Paul would have called bullshit on that internally. As soon as she said this, she's like, "Oh yeah, right."
Hopefully he didn't say that out loud, but you know what I mean. But yeah, so
they knew the real stories about me. They knew the difference between there were fake stories about me and some of them were real, but.
Because that's the thing. You were kind of like, when you first came back into the scene.
Yeah.
You know, you weren't from here.
Yeah.
So, people were mystified by you.
A lot of dudes that were gunning for Jen were fucking talking shit about me, making things up, because they knew that Jen liked me. So they were trying to get Jen not to fucking pursue me. Remember
luckily
for remember that dude? That one
yeah,
dude?
I know. I'm not going to say what his name is.
Yeah, that was part of it.
Because he's a nice dude.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, he apologized.
He did apologize later.
Yeah.
He did apologize later.
But there were other people saying, I heard stories about you, man, but I didn't believe him. And then they told me, I said, what'd you hear? And they tell a story, and I was like, no, that's true.
Some of the shit was true.
It's like, no, that's true.
Some of the shit was true. But a lot of the stuff was not true.
Yeah. The one that was true is the chick blew me in the club.
That was true.
That was true.
I remember that happening. That was before we were going out with you. And I remember that girl, too.
Yeah. Yeah, that was true.
Yeah.
But people didn't think it was true. No, that did happen.
No, I remember that happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember hearing about it, and I was like, no, I know that happened because you told me about it.
Yeah, I told you right, it happened.
And I knew that girl.
Yeah.
She went to a psychiatric hospital later.
Yeah.
And I texted her when she was in there, but she never.
Yeah.
Because somebody else that was a mutual friend said, "Oh my God, she got taken to a psychiatric hospital." And so I texted her. I'm like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And shit like that. But she never answered.
Yeah, that wasn't really a goth chick. That was like a hanger-on.
Yeah, she was around. I liked her though.
Yeah,
I liked her. Yeah, she was a cool chick.
And she.
I don't know what happened to her though.
I was walking. I was just walking.
I was just walking.
I'm just walking, and she grabbed me, fucking pulled me off into a roped off area, and did her thing for a few minutes. And I'm like, nah, we can't do this. Come on, you gotta snap out of it.
That was true though.
And I didn't say shit.
She dragged him into the back, because where venue 13 used to be, there was curtains all around because it was.
They had a closed off part of the restaurant.
Yeah, and there was it was a restaurant
It was a
during the
restaurant at
day.
one time. She dragged me back in there, and I didn't say shit. I kept my mouth shut, except I told Jen, because I was hanging out with Jen.
Yeah, I knew.
She went around and told everybody that she did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were like, bro, I just got dragged back there and fucking.
What was funny is that I was trying to protect her reputation.
Yeah.
She was out there trying to blow
But she
her
was
reputation
telling
up.
everybody.
That, I blew him. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he's hung like a horse and all kinds of shit like that.
Which you are, but I'm just saying that it's just.
And that was so funny because
and that's not a rumor,
was like, who would have known that you were hung like a horse? I said, of course I'm hung like a horse. What are you thinking?
You are actually.
It's because I was short. They didn't think I was gonna be hung like a horse. What are you talking about? The short guys are the ones that were fucking packing most of the time.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's like short girls and big tits. It's similar.
True.
Yeah.
Zach says, without naming names, what's the biggest drama that went down in your scene? LOL.
Oh, man.
Whew.
Oh, I can name names.
Oh, my God. Where do we want to start?
I can name names. Fucking,
I don't think we have, more drama than anybody else's
What's her
scene,
name?
but...
And her ex-boyfriend, he kept coming back and getting thrown out. Fucking, what was his name?
Oh.
Punk rock guy.
Can we use pseudonyms?
You can say his real name. Because, shit, Andy doesn't have anything to hide. She didn't do it.
Oh, well, you just said her real name.
Yeah, Andy.
His name's Will.
Yeah, Will. That's right. Andy and Will. Andy and Will were a fucking couple for a long time.
Okay.
They were kind of a power couple, and Will fucking got...
He was older. He's older than us. He's an old punk rock dude.
He wasn't old back then.
No, but I mean, he's older than we are.
Yeah.
So he's in his 50s.
Yeah, he's in his mid late 50s.
Him and Andy dated for a very long time. And they were off and on. Will would get kicked out of various clubs.
He'd get so drunk.
He'd get really drunk, and he would do
an old punk rock guy.
Yeah, very original, an
tall,
OG punk rock
and
dude.
Thin.
Tall, scrawny.
Yeah, scrawny. He looked good. He was a good looking guy.
Spiky hair.
And Andy was a good looking older chick. She at the time
she comes out still.
She still comes out.
She has a her fiance.
Yeah.
She has another fiance.
She was in her 40s. Okay, check this out. She was in her 40s. You wouldn't know it then. When I showed you guys pictures of Sonia's older than I am.
Yeah.
Now she wasn't in those photos. She was in her 40s during those photos.
Yeah.
But some of these goth people are well preserved, way into their 50s. You'd never know.
We don't go out in the sun. That's why.
Don't go out in the sun. Yeah. But Sonia's got to be 56 by now.
She's older than you are.
Yeah, and you wouldn't know it by looking at her.
Andy is probably... Is she my age?
Yeah, I think she's your age.
She's early 50s.
Yeah.
But like I said, you would never know by looking at her. And she has another... she's engaged to be married now to somebody. His name is Vivo, and he's awesome. I think he's a little bit younger than her, but I don't know how much younger he is. But her and Will went out for a very long time. They broke up a long time ago. But Will could not get over it.
Yeah.
And he posted all kind of crazy shit on Facebook, like fucked up shit. And I was saying to myself, like, look, I like Will and everything, but if somebody had posted shit like that about me on Facebook, I would be like, I am blowing your fucking life up. I'm gonna have you killed. Yeah. You say shit like that about me. Yeah. If we ever broke up and you said shit about like that about me on Facebook, I'm gonna have you killed, bitch.
He was rough.
I'm gonna have you fucking killed. And like, so a lot of people in the scene were like, fuck that dude. And like now, like a lot of people, if they think that he's gonna be there, won't go. He doesn't come out much anymore. But a lot of people won't go where he's gonna be. And a lot of people have said, like, well, I won't go here because I think he's going to be there and I don't feel safe. Because he gets real drunk. Like I said, he's older than us and he tends to cause trouble. He's been kicked out of iBar many times. He was banned from there for a long time and then they let him back in and then he would like do some other shit. Like when him and Andy were still together, they would get in like super like big fights and like he would get kicked out. And you know, like I said, I don't want to make it seem like the goth scene is this big drama because it's usually not. Like most of the people like get along, but the thing about it is that when something like this goes on, everybody knows about it. Everybody. Yeah. Everybody knows about it because it's kind of like the big news at the time.
Okay, now Sonia, she was on a Wopscut album cover. That's Sonia. She's on a Wopscut album cover.
That's right.
That's her.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's her right there.
Yeah.
If you guys know who Wopscut is.
Wopscut.
Yeah. It's a good German band.
I gotta pee and I'm gonna get another drink. I mean, well, maybe I shouldn't get another drink because it's almost 9:30.
Matter of fact, it says Solo on there, and that's her That's her nickname, Sonia. Yeah. It's almost, it's almost time to go. It's almost time to go, people. But, no, it's good that we're hanging out, drinking, getting ready for tonight. We're telling you all our personal stories. That's what fucking, this night is about. Is just talking to our listeners and interacting and letting you guys know the fucking crazy shit that we did. Let's see what everybody's talking about. Oh, Xander says, wait, no. Xander says, this is why I don't go to clubs. No, you want to go to clubs, man. It's just, you just got to go to the right ones and you hang out and become a regular and fucking, it takes years. It takes years. Me and Jen grew up in it, so... Oracle goes, here, Tom. I don't know what you're talking about, Oracle. No context. Okay. Yeah, it's time for us to go. Why don't you go ahead and shut it down, Jim? We gotta fucking get the fuck out of here.
What everybody's saying?
Oh, they're talking.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to the
restroom. Oracle said, how are the cats doing?
They're doing good.
They're all good. All of the cats are good. Like I said, we were kind of worried about Beijing because we thought she's older, she's 14, 15 at this point, and she was acting like real lethargic and she wasn't eating and stuff like that, but it turned out it was just the anal gland thing. So when we gave her steroids and she got her anal gland stuff and she's running around like usual, you know what I mean? Other cats are doing real good. They're just chasing each other around the house, keeping us awake all night. So, Zach says, is she supposed to have 3 boobs? She was on the album cover, yeah. Xana said, this is why I don't go to clubs. It's not that bad. I mean, honestly, that whole drama was a long time ago. If you go now, there's always little dramas like there are with regular ass people. I kind of feel like people feel like goths have more drama than regular people. They don't. In my experience, it's actually less than regular people. But it does kind of happen. But the thing about it is that when there is a drama, everybody knows about it because everybody knows everybody. You know what I mean? So it's that kind of thing. But most of the time, most of the people are like kind of cool. You just go and you hang out and you dance and it's just like, hey, it's you. And, you know, you just hang out. It's fine. It's fine. We do know one guy, and I'm not going to bring up his name, but one guy who is a little bit, has a reputation for being a little bit, what's the word that I want to use? A little bit rapey, but everybody knows about it, and people have taken sides on it. Most people are just kind of like, yeah, we don't really want to hang out with that dude. Some people are like, oh, I don't think he did anything, but, you know, so there's that. But like I said, it's not, most of the people are perfectly fine. It's fine. Zach says, I'm going to get drunk after the show tonight. Yeah. I mean, we are too, because we're going out. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so we're going to wrap it up because we're going to go out to Mannequins and get even drunker and see what's going on out there. Hopefully it's a fun night tonight. Hopefully there's some good music and I can dance and stuff like that. But we will be back on Monday. We'll probably do Blood Diamond. But we'll see. I mean, whatever it is we watch over the week, it'll probably be Blood Diamond. But I did buy him a couple of movies too. We'll get into those later on. That was Dark City and The Cell. So we'll probably get into those later. But we'll probably do Blood Diamond first because Xanada sent us that. And I do kind of want to review that. And I do kind of want to rewatch it. So
what
that's
if I wear this jacket?
What if you do?
I don't know if
How do you... Are you going to... Yeah, that looks nice. Look at you.
I don't know. It might be too hot for it.
I mean, it's not... What is it like out? My computer says 42, but that's not right. That's not right. I think it's only going down to 50.
Go down to 50. I'll just throw it in the back of the car if I need it.
Yeah, it looks nice, I think.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So we're going out this evening, and we're going to go. So thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us this evening. Thank you for your super chats. And we will see you guys again on Monday evening. Good night.